These are the 15 most brutal fouls in football's history, and you will never believe some of these tackles. Number 15. Pepe vs Dani Alves. The Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Barcelona would always be a heated affair. Still, Pepe's challenge on Dani Alves took things to another level. With the score being 0-0, tackles started flying everywhere, and this was when Pepe decided to put in a high-footed tackle that was both shocking and dangerous. The immediate aftermath saw players from both sides clashing. Alves rolled on the floor in pain, while Pepe received a straight red card, leaving Madrid with 10 men. Do you think that was shocking? Wait till you see our top 2. Number 14. Nigel de Jong on Xabi Alonso, 2010 World Cup Final. But first, this is number 14. During the 2010 World Cup Finals, a chilling moment froze time amidst the cheers and roars. Dutch midfielder Nigel de Jong, known for being ruthless, launched a high kick, connecting his boot squarely with Xabi Alonso's chest. The sheer force left Alonso gasping for air with pain on his face. Do you want to be shocked further? The referee only showed a yellow card. Should it have been a red? For many, De Jong might have deserved to be jailed. Number 13. Benjamin Messing on Claudio Caniggia, 1990 World Cup. The World Cup stage in 1990 witnessed a tackle that's etched in football folklore. Argentina's Claudio Caniggia was weaving magic with his swift runs, getting past 2 players. But Cameroon's Benjamin Messing had other plans. Determined to halt Caniggia's run, Messing unleashed a tackle so fierce that his own shoe was sent flying. The sheer audacity of the challenge left spectators in disbelief. Of course, he was shown a straight red. We don't even know why he was arguing. Number 12. Zinedine Zidane on Marco Materazzi, 2006 World Cup Final. Berlin, 2006, a stage set for legends, but it became the backdrop for an unforgettable clash. Zinedine Zidane, after scoring that famous Panenka penalty, was on the brink of World Cup glory. Yet, a whispered insult from Italy's Marco Materazzi ignited a fire. In a moment of raw emotion, not caring about what's at stake, Zidane responded with a headbutt to Materazzi's chest, sending shockwaves around the world. The iconic image of Zidane walking past the trophy remains etched in history. To make it worse, that was Zizou's last ever game. Number 11. Brian Moulin on Steve Zakuani, 2011 MLS. The American soccer scene, often seen as a budding platform for football, witnessed a tackle in 2011 that shook its very core. Steve Zakuani, a promising talent for Seattle Sounders, was on the rise. But in a fateful encounter, Brian Moulin's challenge came like a storm, shattering Zakuani's leg and dreams. The stadium fell into a hushed silence as the gravity of the injury was so evident you could even hear the sound of his leg. Moulin received a 10-game suspension, a mere reflection of the damage done. But thankfully, Zakuani managed to make a comeback. Number 10. Andoni Goicoechea on Diego Maradona, 1983 La Liga. Diego Maradona was always kicked around during his games. It was the only possible way to stop him. However, this tackle was capable of changing the course of history. Andoni Goicoechea, infamously dubbed the Butcher of Bilbao, apparently wanted to become football's #1 villain. In a deliberate act, Goicoechea's studs crashed into Maradona's ankle, causing a break that sidelined the Argentine maestro for months. The tackle wasn't just brutal, it was a declaration of war on the pitch. While Maradona's spirit remained unbroken, that challenge is a haunting testament to football's darker side. Number 9. Ryan Shawcross on Aaron Ramsey, 2010 Premier League. The Premier League, known for its pulsating energy, experienced a heart-stopping moment in 2010. Aaron Ramsey, Arsenal's young prodigy, was carving his path to greatness, but in a split second, Stoke City's Ryan Shawcross launched with a tackle that echoed with a sickening crunch. Ramsey's leg was broken, and the Britannia Stadium, usually a cauldron of noise, was drowned in stunned silence. Shawcross, distraught, was shown a red card, but the damage was done. Some say that this tackle was why Ramsey never fulfilled his potential. Number 8. Michael Brown on Sean Davis, 2006 Premier League. However, Ramsey wasn't the only Arsenal player who's had his career hampered by an injury. In a Premier League clash between Birmingham and Arsenal, the Gunners' promising talent Eduardo suffered a horror tackle that ended his career prematurely. What seemed like a routine tackle quickly turned nightmarish. resulting in a devastating leg break for Eduardo. The stadium fell eerily silent. Taylor, visibly shaken, was shown a red card. Eduardo never recovered from his injury, and although he returned to the field, he slowly disappeared into oblivion. Number 7. Pedro Mendes on Ben Thatcher, 2006 Premier League. We're still with Premier League moments. This time it was Pedro Mendes, a maestro in midfield, who was orchestrating play until Manchester City's Ben Thatcher delivered a blow that transcended football. With a wild elbow, more suited to the UFC octagon than a football pitch, Thatcher floored Mendes, leaving him unconscious and needing medical attention. The act was met with widespread condemnation. Thatcher faced a hefty suspension, but the incident remains a grim testament to the unpredictability and raw emotion that football can sometimes unleash. Number 6. Isco vs Neymar, 2016. We just had to put in another classical moment. This time, Isco's challenge on Neymar added more heat to the clash legacy. During a fiercely contested match, Isco lunged late at Neymar in a moment of evident frustration, catching the Brazilian from behind. It wasn't a tackle, it was a straight kick to the knee that sent the Brazilian flying. Both teams converged in heated exchanges, and the outcome, a straight red card for Isco, further amplifying the drama of this situation. Number 5. Kevin Muscat vs Adrian Zara, 2011. The A-League, Australia's top-tier football league, has also seen its share of intense moments. Still few compared to the tackle between Kevin Muscat and Adrian Zara. Muscat's challenge on Zara was nothing short of bone-chilling. The tackle was so severe that it echoed beyond the stadium, making headlines and stirring debates. The aftermath, Zara faced a challenging recovery, while Muscat received a lengthy ban. Number 4. Thomas Müller vs Nicolas Tagliafico, 2018. European nights are known for their magic, intensity, and sometimes moments that leave fans in sheer disbelief. During a Champions League group stage match between Bayern Munich and Ajax, Thomas Müller decided to replicate the Bundesliga's logo as his high boot met Nicolas Tagliafico's head, in a tackle that was as shocking as it was unintentional. Both sets of supporters held their breath as Tagliafico lay on the ground, the severity of the challenge evident to all. Müller, known for his sportsmanship, was visibly remorseful. The incident became a focal point of the match, highlighting the fine line between aggressive play and unintended consequences in the high-stakes world of football. Speaking of unintentional fouls, this one might be the most gruesome in history. Number 3. Son Heung-min vs Andre Gomes, 2019. During a Premier League clash between Tottenham and Everton, Son Heung-min, in a bid to regain possession of the ball, made a tackle that, while not malicious in intent, had catastrophic consequences. Gomez suffered a horrific ankle injury, leading to immediate distress among players from both sides. Son immediately recognized the outcome of his tackle and broke down in tears after he saw the ankle of Gomez, who nearly fainted out with pain. But again, the tackle was not on purpose. However, our final 2 fouls were made by players seeking blood. Number 2. Sergio Ramos vs Lionel Messi, 2010. Again with El Clasico, and this time with a tackle that caused chaos on the field. In a match that saw Barcelona dominate with a 5-0 victory, one incident stood out amidst the goals and celebrations. In a moment of frustration, Sergio Ramos lunged at Lionel Messi with a late and dangerous tackle. The Camp Nou erupted in disapproval, while players from both sides rushed to the scene. Ramos received a red card for his actions and clashed with his Spanish teammates Puyol and Piqué on his way out of the tunnel. This tackle amidst the crushing defeat epitomized the passion and volatility of one of football's greatest rivalries. And now to our number 1 foul, a tackle that defined a whole era. Number 1. Roy Keane on Alf-Inge Haaland, 2001 Premier League. Old Trafford, 2001, a setting for one of football's most notorious tackles. Roy Keane, Manchester United's ruthless captain, had a score to settle. Years prior, Alf-Inge Haaland accused Keane of faking an injury after the Irishman literally ruptured his ACL. However, their paths crossed again, and with chilling precision, Keane lunged, his studs crashing into Haaland's knee. The tackle was more than just a foul, it was a message, a vendetta played out on the pitch. Haaland never recovered, and his career was shadowed by that moment. No wonder his son Erling returned to England to haunt the Red Devils. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are the 15 most brutal fouls in football's history. Hit those like and subscribe buttons and remember to share your thoughts in the comments.